Hey everyone, today we're sinking to the depths with Nautilus, the new live-action adventure series inspired by Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. When this came across my desk, I had to take a closer look because, as any fan of classic literature would, I couldn't resist. This is a reimagining of the origin of Captain Nemo, not just as a mysterious sea captain, but as a revolutionary, an anti-colonial hero, and a man driven by grief and principle. So, is this a show worth sailing the high seas with, or should we set sail for some other adventure? Let's get into it. No spoilers, just deep sea diving. Nautilus unfolds in a lush, high concept steampunk world that blends 19th century naval warfare with a bold, anti imperialist narrative. The show builds on the origin story of Captain Nemo, painting him not as a villain or mad scientist, but as a man wronged by an empire, a rogue seeking revenge beneath the waves. What makes this story stand out is its focus on why Nemo built the Nautilus, not just how. The series is part character study, part epic voyage, with each episode revealing more about the man behind the submarine, the crew he commands, and the enemies he's made on both land and sea. There's political tension, science fiction intrigue, and an emotional core that drives the narrative forward. Shazad Latif takes the lead as Captain Nemo, and he carries the show with poise and vitality. This isn't the cold, one-note character you may have experienced in other adaptations. He's wounded, idealistic, and constantly walking the line between vengeance and vision. Latif gives the character dignity and passion in equal measure, which helps ground the show's loftier sci-fi elements. The supporting cast is solid, though at times weighed down by dialogue that can feel a bit corny or cookie cutter. The crew of the Nautilus brings a mix of cultures and personalities, adding diversity and moral texture to the journey. Some characters shine more than others, but the chemistry is believable and the cast does a great job of gelling together despite their differences and foibles, to the show's advantage. There's also a strong set of villains present. Again, no spoilers, but suffice to say the show does a very good job of building up a grudge match that pays dividends as the show progresses. And let's not forget the guest stars. Seeing Richard E. Grant pop up was a pleasant surprise. He brings gravitas and just the right touch of playful menace. Other familiar faces appear throughout the series, and part of the fun becomes spotting them and thinking, wait, where have I seen them before? Let's talk about the Nautilus itself. The ship is a character in its own right. The set design is excellent. It's a steampunk wet dream with some modern flair. Bold colors, twisted metal, and plenty of spots for danger to lurk around every corner. If you like Star Trek's bleeping and blooping futuristic noises, you'll love the cracking and creaking of the Nautilus. It's a star in its own right and absolutely a highlight of the show. Above the waves, the show offers many exotic locations. The CGI isn't the best. We are talking about a true TV show here, but it's consistent and gets the job done, especially in the deep sea sequences. The underwater scenes are immersive, with eerie lighting and a sense of isolation that suits the show's atmosphere. The show does have a commitment to deeper themes. Nautilus doesn't just entertain, it confronts. The show explores colonialization, displacement, resistance, and identity in a way that feels timely and at times a bit preachy, but that does line up with the roots of Captain Nemo as a character. Tonally, here's where I want to set expectations. This is not Game of Thrones. It's not trying to be prestige TV with ultra gritty realism or massive political twists. Instead, Nautilus occupies that more whimsical, serialized adventure space, something closer to Doctor Who or even Xena Warrior Princess. Now, Doctor Who isn't exactly my favorite show, but if you like that mix of fantasy, moral dilemmas, and stylized world building, Nautilus might really click with you. It's earnest, a little theatrical at times, and wears its heart on its sleeve. It's more about the journey, the wonder, and the message than it is about shock value or big budget spectacle. So if you're the type who appreciates old school serialized adventure with a sci-fi twist, this show is definitely worth a look. In short, Nautilus is bold, thoughtful, and richly imagined. It takes a classic story and reclaims it from a modern perspective, one that questions power, empire, and the cost of freedom. If you're looking for a character-driven sci-fi adventure that has the occasional twist and turn, this is it. Is it flawless? No. There are some pacing issues, a few underdeveloped side characters, and moments where the effects don't hold up. Also, there are a few episodes that were weaker than others. But what it does well, it does very well, and it gives Captain Nemo a world to explore and even have a little fun in along the way. So, should you take a dive with Nautilus? Absolutely. Especially if you enjoy adventure shows in the spirit of Doctor Who, Xena, or classic pulp fiction reimagined with modern audiences in mind. It's not for everyone, but if you like that blend of heart, history, and steampunk flavor, there's treasure to be found here. I would recommend giving at least the first few episodes a shot, and you'll know if this show has harpooned your heart or if you can cast it out into the depths, never to be seen again. Let me know what you think when you've watched it, and if Captain Nemo deserves a spot alongside your favorite sci-fi legends. Until next time, stay tuned and have some fun out there. This is Derek Scarzella. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching or enduring. If you're feeling generous or even just mildly entertained, please like, subscribe, and comment to support the channel. I know you've got opinions. Don't even try to deny it. Drop them in the comments. Argue with me. Argue with each other. You are officially invited to engage in glorious internet combat. You can also find me on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Instagram's awkward little brother, and the granddaddy of them all, Facebook. Oh, and while I've still got your attention, my novels The Vicious Game and Knuckle Crack Bone are up on Amazon. They're unapologetically gritty, punch-you-in-the-face crime stories with rave reviews. If you give them a shot, I'd be honored. Thank you again for watching. Rest well, hero. You're home.